Everyone, my name is Adristea. I feel like that the sentence is incomplete when I just end it there. Hey everyone, my name is Adristea, and welcome back to another Kitbashing video. This October, I am heading to Under the Dice Fest, and I hope to see you there to, among other things, participate in the New England Mordheim Open, Nemo. And I need a warband to do that. I already have an undead warband because I love vampires, but I thought it'd be fun to try something completely new for Nemo, making a brand new warband. I've been eyeing the Cult of the Possessed warband for a while, so I decided to make that mine for Nemo. And of course, I'm making it Slaanesh themed. And the first step in this process is making my leader model, the wielder of chaotic magics, the Magister. To make my Magister, I'm using the Smash Bash Mini, and the new Lord of Hysteria from Age of Sigmar. I start by assembling this really over-the-top helmet that has way too many parts. I get it probably needs to be this way to have that shape on the sprue, but it is really annoying and takes a lot of time. I don't really know why it's built like this. I'm sure there was a better way where a few parts could have been combined. Maybe it's partly because it has the two different heads you can swap out that overcomplicated it, but I don't know. The original kit actually came with a head that goes inside the helmet, which I didn't expect looking at the promo art, but I'm not using it. I'm actually going to be using that whole body for a different project. I actually got this Smash Bash Mini from Trent Miscast Bitspin at Adepticon when I was trading him with stuff, so I don't really know exactly what it is. Saw this pose and I was like, I can make something Slaanesh with this. My other idea was having it be the mother in a Great Hunger warband, the one that's birthing out all the zombies, but I kind of got to this first. And really putting the big helmet on it was way too enticing. However, actually fitting the helmet onto the body was a very lengthy and annoying process of snipping and shaving down the metal and the inside of the helmet to try and get a good fit. I eventually got them to go together, but with so many gaps that we're going to need to fill them in with something else. To fill those gaps, I decided to give this bodacious babe a bit of billowing black hair. I couldn't come up with an alliteration for that, since I didn't have the forethought to turn it into a braid. You may have seen on socials that due to my schedule, I'll no longer be streaming and rather focusing more on YouTube. So I'm very excited. Thank you so much for watching. If you could please give this video a like if you're enjoying it and subscribe if you want to see more, I'd really appreciate it. It means so much to me. I just reached 1,000 subscribers, and to celebrate, I will be doing a Q&A in my next video. Please feel free to ask your questions in the comments below, my YouTube community post, or in my Discord. Speaking of the Discord, I wanted to show off these Lesbian Lady Legionnaires by Marissa Macrocosmos in the server. If you want to join like-minded hobbyists and have your work shown off in my videos, you can join using the link in the description below. In Mordheim, it is very unlikely that someone will be equipped with anything other than a weapon and a helmet, and for a spellcaster, even that's unlikely. I think spellcasters can't wear any armor, including helmets. She has a helmet, but it's more visual. However, every member of your warband is given a free dagger. So I take the sheathed knife from the Sybarite Twin Souls box and put it in her left hand. To make her custom staff, to show that she uses Slaaneshi magic, I take the hand and banner pole of an old Beastmen BSB and trim it down to size. I then top it off with a metal bit, I don't really know what to call this, from a Tzeentch staff, and I create a special ornament to adorn it. I use the tongue-out demon face from Noise Marine backpack that I cut away, and the Tormentors / Infractors kit's Slaanesh-themed icon of excess, and I glue them back to back, and then I put that atop the staff. I then pull out God's green gift to Kitbashing, Pete the Wargamer's Dead Animal Bits, produced by Atlantic Games. I'm not sponsored, I just really recommend this kit if you want random stuff to kitbash. I'm pretty much use them in everything nowadays. I grab a few bunches of feathers and a decapitated head to adorn the staff, and a feather to fill a small gap left where the dagger would normally attach to the hip of the Sybarite it came from. To begin painting, I prime her a nice black and start adding the undertone for the skin. I love putting a red, pink, or purple underneath Living skin tone to help give it depth and warmth once I put the skin on top. I'm using a burnt red from Pro Acryl here. I cover the model with many thin coats. This is kind of because there was already thinned burnt red on my palette. I probably wouldn't have thinned it down this much, but it worked out in the end. Many thin coats can do the same as two slightly less thin coats. I then paint her skin all up, first using Tan Flesh from Pro Acryl, and then with Flesh Light from Foundry. I make sure to follow the volumes of her body, as I'm not used to painting fat bodies, as it's not a body type you really see on models often, so I'm spending extra time making sure I capture that sculpted detail and make it feel natural and actually like someone's real body. Usually with a skin this pale, I like to give a fiery orange hair to match, because I'm a 2000s kid. If you know, you know. But instead, I decided to give her dark black hair to contrast it better. This is a hair color that better complemented her thick waves as well, though I care less about that consistency in fantasy miniatures. I use Pro Acryl's Coal Black, followed by Corvus Black and highlights of Corvus Black mixed with Liquitex white ink. These highlights end up being noticeably gray while painting, but don't worry, in isolation it looks wrong, but once the model is done, it just makes the hair look like it's shiny in the light, but there is going to be that moment where you go, oh, she looks like she has gray hair, but don't worry about it, as long as you keep the shadows black. I then quickly base everything that needs to be brown before painting all of the metallics silver. I'm not worried about spilling onto the trim at this stage, I'll replace them with gold later. The only thing I'm protecting is the skin and hair, though the hair gets a few splashes when I did the helmet, but that was pretty easy to fix with the black. I use Leadbelcher and Retributor Gold for the metallics, both from Citadel. I covered the helmet's trim, the head of the staff, and the pommel in gold before getting distracted by the most important part of this model, the bush.
Please clap.
So this mini, the Smash Bash mini, comes with sculpted bush, but I thought it was a bit too trimmed and orderly for the vibe I'm going for. So I use my black to stipple more hair onto the stomach and the surrounding thighs, and then I come back with a thin layer of my flesh colors to wash them out and make them fade better into the skin. And I think this is a really good job of making natural looking hair growth. Now this is a bush Slaanesh would be proud of. I then put some red on the tongue and face of the demon, and on the gem on the back of the dagger sheath. To do dead skin, I work very similar to my living skin. I start with a base coat of Pro Acryl's Jade to give it a cold, rotting look instead of the red to make it feel alive. Then I highlight with Pallid Witch Flesh to kind of keep that dying vibe. Speaking of Pallid Witch Flesh, is this paint super watery, or did I get a bad batch? It applies patchy, spills when I crack the pot, and just kind of feels like spoiled milk, which sucks because I really love this color. So please let me know if there's a way I can fix this, or if it's bad. Oh, and I put on the demon face as well. Now I do a contrast wash glaze step. Usually I don't use contrast paints for this, but I really wanted to try to stain parts to get unique color patterns. So I put Magos Purple on the demon face and all over the silver armor, and that makes the armor kind of have this cool purple like shine to it. Originally for the armor, I tried Druchii Violet, but it wasn't potent enough to really stain it. After that, I then highlighted it again with this original Leadbelcher silver I used to really make it so the purple is kind of in the shadows of the metal. I use Caribou Crimson for the tongue of the demon and the rotting head to really make it look bruised and bloody. And I put a bright Power Node Glow from Army Painter on the eyes of the helmet. At some point, too, I paint the gem on the back of the staff Slaanesh symbol and the one in the little circle by the boob in the helmet with purples and whites, and I go back and forth until I get kind of annoyed of it and sick of it and just say it's okay, it shines well enough. I need to get better at gems. That's something I'm going to work towards. I see some beautiful gems online with perfect shines. That's something I want to improve. Finally, I paint the feathers in a bright and colorful parrot feather pattern. Do you know how hard it was to find a singular picture of a parrot feather? I had to just guess based on a picture of the whole wing, so these could be completely wrong, but again, it's fantasy, so do I really care that much? Once that was done, I based her with my typical Slaanesh flock, and she was all ready for the reveal. thank you everyone so much for watching. Sorry for the short video this month. I'm going away on vacation for the last 2 weeks, and I wanted to make sure I got something out before I left so that I could keep up at least a video a month this year. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be focusing more on YouTube, and hopefully that means I can get even more content out. Even writing the script that I've been reading, I've started writing scripts instead of just kind of going off the dome while watching footage, and that's been really fun. I hope was fun to watch. Let me know if the script was maybe a bit too forced, or if I sound bad, or if you hate me. But it was really fun, so I really hope none of that's true. And it's really energized me to keep working on future projects. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one with the Q&A.